want to show you guys something. I'm here on Newsweek.com, and there's an article here that's pretty interesting. Mother refuses to let kids social distance, wear masks, tells school board both are a pagan ritual for Satanists. Now I'm going to explain why this mother is pissed off and enraged. I'm going to insert the clip right now and explain. Now let's read what this says. 6 feet apart, wearing masks. Does this sound familiar? You are taking part in a Luciferian ritual. Willingly. This was posted by Anon Batsky on the 18th of July. So you see these sick Luciferians, they love to cover themselves in masks, and they love to wear red shoes when they're sacrificing animals or humans, so that when the blood hits their sneakers or their shoes, they're in red. You can't really notice it. These people are so evil. They trick and scare the masses in the beginning when COVID was first heard of. And they cause mass panic and mass fear amongst one another. And everybody is afraid to interact anymore. They've taken that social structure that we had in place of being a human. The basic principles of being a human are being stripped away. They don't want us to interact anymore. They want to silence us. They don't want us to have a say. They don't want us to be together anymore. They want us in a zombified state of mind where the only thing that matters is our video games, our tablets, our phones, our electronics, our movies, our televisions, our news. They literally want us as little cyborgs, just stuck, interested in robotics and interested in artificial intelligence and GMOs, so we get dumbed down. Meanwhile, they're tricking us into Luciferian rituals. Every time we wear our masks and we social distance, and every time we watch music awards and we watch all these satanic Hollywood movies and videos and play their satanic games, you can't escape it, okay? They've infiltrated every aspect of our lives at this point. And we need to say no to this anymore. No more. And you know what? Good for this mother who's sticking up for her religion and her religious beliefs. She's a Christian. She doesn't believe in being social distance from other people. She believes in spreading the word about God and being with people, not away from people. Okay? Good for her. So let's get back to this article. As a Wisconsin school district prepares to resume full-time in-person instruction, one parent voiced strong opposition to safety protocols that local board members and global health officials agree will reduce COVID-19 transmission risk among students. The parent, Heidi Anderson, said her children are not subject to complying with mitigation procedures because they are Christians during a Board of Education meeting in Elm Brook near Milwaukee on Tuesday night. At the end of the meeting, board members decided students with the Elm Brook School District must wear face coverings and maintain 6 feet distance between one another while attending classes this fall. Earlier, the board heard statements from community members about whether they felt Elm Brook should reopen and what reopening should look like if they supported a plan to do so. Anderson argued against the district's then proposed mitigation measures in her comments favoring reopening. She questioned the rationale behind health mandates and suggested mass and physical distancing are a pagan ritual that contradicts her religious beliefs. We are concerned about the disregard for our civil liberties in your plan, said Anderson, who told the board that 2 of her children are enrolled in Elm Brook schools. 6 foot distance and mass are a pagan ritual of satanic worshippers, she continued. We are Christians. Our children do not practice satanic worship. We don't have them stand 6 feet apart from each other with facial coverings. Anderson described mask use and social distancing guidelines as draconian measures in her statement to the school board Tuesday night. She also questioned the legitimacy of health experts' recommendation to remain at least 6 feet apart, asking, why is it not 3? Why is it not 5? Why is it not 10? Why is it not 30? Most public health guidance, including those issued by the WHO and the CDC, note that maintaining 6 feet of distance alone does not offer enough protection to combat COVID-19. Number 1. We already know that masks do not prevent against the spread of COVID-19. Number 2. We already know that COVID-19 is mainly affecting the elderly. Number 3. In nursing school, I learned that airborne precautions are used with an N95 mask. Number 4. So is preventing COVID-19 really the CDC's first priority? If so, then why are they telling people to not wear an N95 mask? How come making N95 masks were not the government's first priority, especially during a pandemic, when healthcare workers would be in dire need of them? Suspicious indeed. So as you can see, I'm here at cdc.gov, and anybody can go on this website, click on here, and you can see all of the updated information for coronavirus. If you look at avoid close contact, here you can see they make sure to let you know 3 times 6 feet between the person who is sick and other household members. 6 feet of distance between yourself and people who don't live in your household. Stay at least 6 feet, about 2 arms length from other people. Now look at this part here where they talk about the mask. See how it says a mask? Like I said before, in nursing school they taught us that the N95 mask is the only mask that can help you when it comes to airborne diseases or airborne droplets. Okay? So when you go to this paragraph right here, it says do not use a mask meant for a healthcare worker. Currently, surgical masks and N95 respirators are critical supplies that should be reserved for healthcare workers and other first responders. So you see how this doesn't even make sense? Alright? If you know that there really is a deadly virus that's really so hyped up and bad like they're making it seem, wouldn't their first priority be to make more N95 masks to distribute to the public so that we can all have them and be safe and try to, stop the spread of this? So why is it only for the healthcare workers? Why is it that the healthcare workers only can wear the N95 mask? Meanwhile, the rest of the population is wearing masks that aren't helping, and we just continue to pass this shit around to people. Or the elderly keep dying because they don't have enough protection to save them from this COVID-19 if they get it from somebody. Because they're too busy wearing some cheap-ass mask that they buy at the store that isn't really an N95, that isn't really going to help them. So what is the point of wearing this fucking mask if it's not even fucking helping? Huh? What's the point of this shit? I really don't fucking get it anymore. It's mind-boggling how stupid this sounds. It only affects elderly people, but the whole fucking world has to wear masks now. Right? But yet the mask that you're fucking wearing, they're not even the N95 mask, the proper mask to wear to prevent airborne diseases. So we're here wearing masks that don't even help us. And the elderly are only going to fucking get sicker and die because they're wearing masks that aren't helping them. So what is the point of this wearing this mask? There's something deeper here. This lady's onto something. And so should you. Masking has traditionally played a very important role in occult rituals. Among other things, the wearing of the mask over one's mouth is a token of submission, a gesture of your willingness to be subject to others who are not your usual sovereign. There are basically 4 stages to an isolation ritual. Stage 1, which we've already been through. Isolation for purification. You're cut off from the normal and thrust into a new normal that's completely different than your past life. Stage 2. Surrender to the new normal, which a lot of you has done. This often involves being given a token gift. Think stimulus check. Leading the initiate, believing that he is being well taken care of by his new overlords, so there's no need to rebel against the new order one is being initiated into. Next stage we have sacrifice. No gift can be given without something being taken. In this case, your dignity, your sovereign independence, your voice, your individual power on this earth as a representative of the word of the Most High God. All of these things and more are being taken from you in exchange for the cold comfort of a new way in a new world. Stage 4, submission. Think mandatory vaccines, social tracing, the willing acceptance of new rules for a new order. Please vote Trump 2020 if you don't want this country to turn into a third world country.